Kia ora koutou, and welcome to the Auckland chapter of Beta Alpha Psi. My name is Chris Escandor, and we're proud to share EYLAP, our Elevate Your Leadership Accelerator program. At its core, EYLAP is built on the belief that leadership grows when people are supported, encouraged, and given real opportunities to develop holistically.
At the heart of this journey is one simple belief that you cannot lead others until you first lead yourself.
Our primary objective was to transform leadership from something members look up to into something they can actively practice. We created a structured journey where members could learn, support, lead, and reflect through real chapter involvement. Each stage of EYLAP helps members step further into responsibility, building confidence and moving closer to their full leadership potential.
Our desired outcomes were to increase involvement and help newer members feel valued within chapter activities. We wanted to create a culture where taking initiative is encouraged, participation feels accessible, and leadership becomes a natural part of the member experience.
To support this, we grounded EYLAP in Te Whara Tapawha, a well-known New Zealand-founded Māori model of well-being. Te Whara Tapawha views well-being as a wharenui, or a meeting house, supported by 4 interconnected walls. For EYLAP, those 4 walls became our leadership foundations: physical presence, mental and emotional resilience, social connection, and values-led purpose.
If any wall of the whare is weak, the whole structure feels strained. In the same way, a leader cannot rely solely on technical skills or confidence. They also need self-awareness, strong relationships, purpose, and the ability to support others while preparing for global professional environments.
EYLAP created value across the whole chapter community. For members, it gave them practical leadership experience, confidence, and a stronger sense of belonging. For our chapter, it strengthened our reputation as a place that actively grows emerging leaders. For our partners, EYLAP deepened their relationship with promising graduate talent by connecting them with students who were already developing leadership skills. The executive team also saw leadership grow naturally when members were given encouragement, structure, and trust.
To bring EYLAP to life, we structured it into 4 practical phases: learn, support, lead, and reflect.
Starting with the physical wall, our focus was on helping members build the confidence, energy, and presence needed to show up as leaders. We did this through our professional development workshops, where members practice communication, professional etiquette, and engaging with industry guests, and through Morning Mahi, our run club, which gave 4D members a more relaxed way to stay active, connect, and build healthy routines. What we saw was a clear shift in behavior. Members became more willing to step into visible roles, with a 35% increase in volunteers for things like greeting guests, introducing speakers, and managing event flow. The physical wall helped members show up with more confidence, composure, and energy.
For the mental and emotional wall, we wanted members to feel supported during high-pressure periods, rather than isolated by it. We introduced study and collaboration spaces during busy academic periods, which we saw over 20 members per week, working together, sharing strategies, and supporting one another. We also collaborated with the Breast Cancer Foundation as a service-based leadership opportunity, where members could practice empathy, communication, and leadership by supporting a meaningful cause. Members began to understand that leadership is not always about being at the front. Sometimes, membership is about checking in, creating supportive spaces, and helping others through challenges.
For the social wall, we focused on connection, belonging, and collaboration. Through Bat Buddies, new members had someone familiar to turn to from day one. Alumni mentoring gave them advice from people who had been in their position before, and our collaboration platform allowed members to give and receive practical support on demand. We saw strong engagement, with 58 buddy pairings, 88% of new members saying it made them more likely to attend events, and over 60 peer-to-peer interactions. Members felt more connected, encouraged, and supported by the people around them.
Lastly, the spiritual wall focuses on values, purpose, and leadership identity. A key part of this was our CAANZ Mentorship Day, where members connected with C-suite mentors and heard directly about leadership, decision-making, and staying true to your values. We supported this through leadership panels, reflection checkpoints, and scholarships that recognized values-driven growth. What we saw was a shift in mindset. Members began to see themselves as future leaders, reflecting on who they are, what they stood for, and how they want to lead. Through scholarships and the EYLAP micro-credential, we recognized that growth and made it visible. Our future leaders left with a stronger sense of purpose and greater confidence in their leadership journey.
In 2026, EYLAP allowed us to introduce a structured pathway to leadership. It bridged together both existing and brand new initiatives, and made the Auckland chapter more intentional about moulding our members into future leaders. We saw members progress through the learn, support, lead, and reflect phases to holistically demonstrate their capabilities as leaders.
Our key metrics also showed meaningful engagement. Members attended an average of 3.6 out of 4 professional development events in Q1, and 83% of members attended non-professional events.
To recognize our leaders, we transformed our existing micro-credential and tailored it towards the completion of EYLAP. Over 30 of our members are on track to earning the EYLAP micro-credential during our initiation, allowing us to celebrate those who contributed, supported others, and showed real growth across their leadership journey.
The General Committee then became a natural next step. Members who had built self-leadership through EYLAP were given the opportunity to take on more structured roles and help shape the future of their chapter. By working alongside current leaders, they could apply what they had learned, contribute to key initiatives, and begin moving from leading themselves to leading others.
The funding was used intentionally across all 4 foundations, with a total of 820 New Zealand dollars, roughly 500 USD, spent to bring EYLAP to life in practical ways. The total was divided between the 4 walls of Te Whare Tapawha. Altogether, this funding helped make leadership feel real and practical. It allowed members to experience leadership through connection, service, well-being, and recognition.
One unexpected outcome was that leadership growth looked different for every member. Some showed growth by volunteering more, speaking up, or taking on visible roles. Others grew more quietly through stronger attendance, peer support, and confidence in smaller group settings. Because of this, growth was not always easy to measure through reflections alone.
We also found that informal connections, especially through the buddy system, had a bigger impact than expected. Members became more confident, not just because of the program structure, but because they felt supported, encouraged, and connected to the chapter.
Implementation also came with challenges. The collaboration market needed more structure. Members were not always sure how to participate or what support they could offer. In response, we introduced clearer prompts, executive modeling, more frequent posts, and a merit-based engagement badge.
Reflection was another challenge. Members engaged more easily with active components than reflective ones, so we embedded reflection into workshops, buddy conversations, and leadership responsibilities, instead of treating it as a separate task. Finally, overcapacity forced us to introduce waiting lists, a selection-based process for members wanting to earn their EYLAP micro-credential.
The biggest learning from EYLAP is that leadership becomes strongest through action. Members grew most when they were trusted with real responsibilities, supported by peers, and encouraged to reflect on their experiences.
EYLAP is now a permanent part of how we develop leaders at the Auckland chapter. It's embedded in our calendar, supported by our partners, and shaped by our members. The Auckland chapter is proud of EYLAP, and we thank EY and Beta Alpha Psi for your consideration.